Hello, my name is Leslie Ware, and I'm an author and teaching artist at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Today, we are going to learn to fabric weave to make a piece inspired by a kente cloth. Kente comes from the word kenten, which means basket. Kente cloth is a Ghanaian textile made of hand-woven cloth strips. Kente is one of the best known African textiles, admired for its bold, bright colors and patterns. Kente cloths are associated with the Yu and Ashanti tribes of Ghana. Today, I am wearing a kente cloth shirt dress. For this activity, we are drawing our inspiration from a 19th century kente prestige cloth. This fabric is mostly yellow with black and red and some blue in it. It looks like it's divided into many rectangles that have different shapes, symbols, and stripes that repeat. The fabric looks to be medium weight but soft, breathable, and like it could easily be draped around the body. Each color of a kente cloth has a special meaning. For this project, I am using the colors orange, green, purple, and black. You can create your own symbolic message using any colors you like. With recycled fabric, we will design a kente cloth together. The materials you will need are fabric. I used old clothes and fabric scraps to cut up these strips. You'll need scissors. You'll need a black marker like a Sharpie. You'll also need some ribbon, yarn, or trim. This is optional. You might need adult assistance to help you cut everything. You're going to need some chalk to help you mark off your fabric before you cut it. You'll need a ruler to measure your fabric. And last but not least, you'll need fabric glue, a glue gun, or even white glue, whatever glue you have. Feel free to substitute any of these materials with other fun things you have around your house. Today, I'm going to show you how to do this with 25 strips. However, you are the designer. Use what you have and design it in a way that speaks to you. To begin, we will cut the strips into 25 1-inch by 18 strips. You can also experiment with making the strips thinner or wider. First, we are going to kind of create our little loom. To do this, you'll need your scraps, and you are going to make a weft and a warp. The weft goes from right to left and it's horizontal, and the warp goes up and down and it's vertical. So I already done this in advance, where I glued 1 horizontal and 11 warp. So it's basically building the loom with your weaving strips. So with your fabric glue, I glued each vertical strip to the horizontal strip across the top. And the horizontal strip can either be woven through or glued straight. After that, you're going to choose 14 more weaving strips, and you're going to weave these strips horizontally through the vertical strips, starting from the top and finishing at the bottom. So this is my purple strip, and it's the first one that I'm going to add in. So I'm just going to go under, over, under, over, and then under again. And the first one is always like a little tricky because you don't have a lot of strips in place to really stabilize it. But as you continue on, it'll get easier and easier to weave. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand and adjust everything. So you're just going to use your hand And then you just want to add a little bit of glue to each side to hold it in place. And now we're going to move on to another strip, and you want to start the opposite way that you started the row above. And so if you started over on the row above it, you're going to go under with the next row to start. And you are going to go all the way across with the over, under, over, under. And then when you get to the end, you're going to add like a little bit of glue. And you want to make sure that your weft, or the pieces that are going from right to left, are as tight up against the row above it as possible. And in weaving, this is called beading. Like, you want to beat everything up. And so you're going to do that with your hands to make sure that it's lined up properly. And I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little more glue on each side. And I'm just pressing it in place. Then I'm going to do the other side. And then I am just going to keep doing this until I get all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to do one more purple. And then I think I'm going to do a different color so that I can create a bit of a pattern. So have fun. You can plan out your weaving, or you can just freestyle it and do whatever comes up for you. So again, you are going to keep weaving the strips of fabric until you get to the bottom. And then when you get to the bottom, you just want to make sure that you glue the bottom strip in place by applying the glue to every strip of your warp and weft on the bottom layer. In the past, the fabric was worn like a toga by royalty among tribes. In modern Ghana, kente is popular and worn to celebrate special occasions. Once your piece is dry, you should cut all around and just clean up the edges so that everything is neat. And then you're going to use a black marker or whatever color marker you have to create kente inspired details like designs and shapes throughout your cloth. So right now I am doing a kind of double triangle, like inverted double triangle design, and I'm doing it on the pieces that go across the top. And I'm just skipping every other block in my pattern, but you can do a different configuration, obviously, if you want to. And I've kind of decided that I want to go through and add this detail to all of the, kind of like every other row of the purple and orange on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go through and do it in all those areas. And now that that's done, I am going to take the trim that I have and just kind of play around with placement and see where I like to add it. So I have some rickrack and then kind of like an ornate trim that looks cool. And I am going to just slide those into the already existing weaving. So you're just kind of sliding it across the weft and under the warp. And this is just adding a little texture. For this part, you could use yarn, you could use pipe cleaner, you could use ribbon. And remember, this is not an authentic kente cloth, so you can embellish it however you want. So after I get them all inserted into my piece, I'm going to glue them down. And then I'm going to trim the edges once it's glued down so that everything is lined up neatly. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is look at it, and I think I want to add a little more embellishment. So I just added some more to kind of the center and the purple area. Or I'm sorry, the orange and green area. And now I think we are pretty much done. And so you can take your kente inspired piece and use it however you want to. You can use it as a tapestry to have on display on the wall, or you can even use it as a placemat or a mat for your laptop. And now I'm just going to go along and I'm cleaning up some of the frayed parts of it from handling it. Now that you've finished your kente, we would love to see your creation. Take a picture or a video and share it on social media using the hashtag MetKids. Thank you for joining us. I am Leslie Ware, and if you enjoyed this exercise, you should check out one of my activity books about sewing, fashion, and style for kids. Bye!